Hello students, welcome to Master, and I am Radhakrishna, your mathematics teacher. Today we are going to discuss very good problems in definite integration. The first question is, if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation tan x is equal to tan 2x, find the value of integral -1 to 1 sin alpha x into sin beta x. First we have to express this product as a sum. For that you need to multiply by 2 and divide by 2. Okay. Then by applying transformations, 2 sin alpha x sin beta x is 2 sin a sin b is sin a plus b cos a plus a minus b minus cos a plus b. So, it will be cos alpha minus beta into x minus cos alpha plus beta into x, right. Then what is the integral of cos alpha minus beta into x? Sin alpha minus beta into x by alpha minus beta minus sin alpha plus beta into x by alpha plus beta between the limits -1 and +1. Now substituting -1 and +1, what will you get? Half into, substituting 1, it will be sin alpha minus beta, and but in the beginning itself, since the function is even, we can write it as 2 integral 0 to 1 sin alpha x sin beta x, right. So, what happens? These two limits will become 0 to 1 and this 2 will cancel out. Right. So, substituting 1, you will get sin alpha minus beta by alpha minus beta minus sin alpha plus beta by alpha plus beta, right, and substituting 0, both are 0. Now, what is the value of this expression? Given that alpha and beta are the roots of tan x is equal to tan 2x. So, tan alpha is equal to tan 2 alpha and tan beta is equal to 2 beta. Now, by adding them, tan alpha plus tan beta is equal to 2 into alpha plus beta. Now, converting to sin and cos, sin alpha by cos alpha plus sin beta by cos beta, you will get cos alpha cos beta LCM, and numerator will become sin of alpha plus beta is equal to 2 into alpha plus beta. Then taking alpha plus beta into left hand side and cross multiplying by cos alpha cos beta, you will get sin alpha plus beta by alpha plus beta is equal to 2 cos alpha cos beta. Okay. Similarly, if you subtract them, then you will get sin alpha minus beta by cos alpha cos beta is equal to 2 into alpha minus beta. So, we will get sin alpha minus beta by alpha minus beta is equal to again 2 cos alpha cos beta. Okay. So, these two are equal. So, if you substitute these two, what will be the value of the integral? The integral is 0. So, the value of this integral is 0. Okay. Moving to next question. Let f maps from half to 1 to r be a positive non-constant differentiable function such that f dash x is less than 2f of x and f of half is 1, then integral half to 1 f of x dx lies in the interval. Options are given, 4 options are given. So, actually this is a previous JEE question, very good question. If you take f dash x minus 2f of x is less than 0, multiplying both sides by e power minus 2x, e power minus 2x into f dash x minus 2 e power minus 2x into f of x is less than 0. But how will you get the idea of multiplying by e power minus 2x? You have studied in differential equations that dy by dx plus py is equal to q is a linear differential equation. And how to solve this linear differential equation? We have to multiply by integrating factor on both sides. What is the integrating factor? Integrating factor if is e power integral p dx. Okay. See, then what happens if you multiply by this, left hand side becomes derivative of a product. That is the purpose of integrating factor. Similarly, even if it is some inequality, we can follow the same method. See, observe this, this is dy by dx if y is equal to f of x, dy by dx minus 2y less than 0. That means p and q are constants, p is minus 2, q is 0. So, that is how we get the idea of multiplying by e power minus 2x. What is the integrating factor of this? E power integrating factor is equal to e power integral minus 2 dx. What is it? E power minus 2x. So, we multiply by e power minus 2x on both sides. Then what happens? This becomes derivative of a product. Observe that this is in the form of u v dash plus u dash v. So, we can write it as d by dx of e power minus 2x into f of x less than 0. Okay. If the derivative of this function is less than 0, the function is decreasing. Okay. So, e power minus 2x into f of x is a decreasing function. Okay. Then what is the property of a decreasing function? If x1 is greater than x2, then f of x1 will be less than f of x2. This is the property of any decreasing function. If this is less than, that will be greater than. Okay. So, since e power minus 2x into f of x is a decreasing function, what is the interval? Half to 1. So, if x is greater than half, because domain is half to 1, then what happens? E power minus 2x into f of x will be less than e power, substitute half, e power minus 1 into f of 1 by 2. F of 1 by 2 is given as 1. So, this will be less than 1 by e. Take this e power minus 2x to right side. We get f of x is less than e power 2x by e. Now, integrating between the limits half to 1. Integral half to 1 f of x dx is less than integral half to 1 e power 2x by e. We can integrate on both sides of a functional inequality, but we cannot differentiate a functional inequality. Now, let us calculate this. This is less than, what is the integral of e power 2x? E power 2x by 2. So, we get e power 2x by 2e between limits half and 1. Substitute 1 and half and take the difference, you will get e minus 1 by 2. So, this definite integral is less than e minus 1 by 2. Let us see the options now. Among the options, clearly this interval is, this smaller lower limit is greater than e minus 1 by 2. Okay. This e minus 1 is greater than e minus 1 by 2, and this is also, this interval is greater than e minus 1 by 2. So, these for A, B, C are definitely wrong. So, the only leftover option is D, integral is less than e minus 1 by 2. But how can you say that it is greater than 0? Given that it is a positive function, if f of x is positive, then integral f of x between half and 1 will be definitely positive. So, it is greater than 0. Okay. Let us proceed to next question. For a greater than or equal to 2, find integral 0 to infinity dx by a square plus x minus 1 by x whole square. Here I am going to give you one hint. Whenever the limits are 0 to infinity, then the usual substitution is put x is equal to 1 by t. Remember this. Okay. So, put x is equal to 1 by t. Then dx will be minus 1 by t square dt, differentiating on both sides. Okay. And what will be the new limits? If x is tending to 0, then t will be tending to infinity. If x is tending to infinity, then t will be tending to 0. So, this integral becomes integral infinity to 0, dx is minus 1 by t square dt. So, minus 1 by t square dt by a square plus, replacing x by 1 by t, 1 by t minus t whole square, right. Now, we can interchange the limits and remove this minus sign. Okay. If you interchange the limits of a different integral, sign will change. So, it will become integral 0 to infinity, and also in any different integral we can change the variable directly without changing the limits, without changing the function. We can change t into x or y or z. So, I am going to write this t as x again. Okay. So, you will get 1 by x square dx by a square plus, we can write 1 by x minus x whole square as x minus 1 by x whole square. Okay. So, we will write x minus 1 by x whole square. Now, let this integral be I, then this is also I, adding this and this is 1, this is 2, adding 1 and 2. Adding 1 and 2, I plus I is 2I is equal to, denominator is same, so adding the numerators, a square plus x minus 1 by x whole square, limits are same, so we can write a common integral 0 to infinity, denominator is same, so what is the sum of the numerators? 1 plus 1 by x square. Dx. Now, simply you observe the function, you can tell the substitution that x minus 1 by x is equal to t, because its derivative is present in numerator. Derivative of x minus 1 by x is 1 plus 1 by x square. So, what will you do? Put x minus 1 by x is equal to t. Then its derivative is 1 plus 1 by x square dx will be dt. Okay. And what will be the limits now? If x tends to 0, 1 by x tends to infinity. So, this will be 0 minus infinity minus infinity. So, lower limit will be minus infinity. If x tends to infinity, it is 1 by x tends to 0. So, it will be 1 infinity minus 0 infinity. So, upper limit will be infinity, and this numerator becomes dt by denominator is a square plus t square. Now, since the function is even, we can write it as 2 integral 0 to infinity dt by 1 plus t square. Okay. Now, what happens? What is the integral of 1 by 1 plus t square? Tan inverse t. And this 2 can be cancelled. This is 2i, no? So, cancelling 2, I is equal to tan inverse t between limits, sorry, it is a square plus t square. What is the integral of 1 by a square plus t square? Integral of 1 by a square plus t square is 1 by a tan inverse t by a. Now, substitute the limits 0 and infinity. Substituting infinity, you will get tan inverse infinity pi by 2, tends to pi by 2. Substituting 0, it will be 0. So, what is the answer? 1 by a into pi by 2 will be pi by 2a. Answer is pi by 2a. Okay. Next question. It is an excellent question. Let f be a differentiable function such that f of x is equal to x for all x belongs to 0 to 1 and f of 0 is 1. Then find the value of integral 0 to 1 x minus f of x whole power 2016. Okay. It was asked in some Indian Statistical Institute exam in 2016. Here let us replace this x by f of x. First, let us take the given integral let I be equal to integral 0 to 1 x minus f of x whole power 2016. Now, replace x by f of x. It becomes integral 0 to 1 f of x minus f of x whole power 2016 dx. Okay. Now, you put f of x is equal to t. Put f of x is equal to t. Then differentiating on both sides, you will get f dash x dx is equal to dt. Then this becomes and what will be the new limits? Substituting x is equal to 0, you will get substituting x is equal to 0, f of 0 is 1. So, it will be integral 1 to substituting x is equal to 1. What is f of 1? You can calculate f of 1 using this. Putting x is equal to 0 on both sides, you will get f of 0 is equal to 0, putting x is equal to 0. What is f of 0? 1. So, we get f of 1 is equal to 0. F of 0 is 1 and f of 1 is 0. So, what will be the limits? 1 to 0. This is f of t minus t whole power 2016 into dx. If you differentiate this, what you will get? F dash f of x into f dash x is equal to 1. Okay? If you take f of x is equal to t, it becomes f dash t into f dash x is 1. Then taking f dash x, writing f dash x as 1 by f dash t, you will get dx is equal to f dash t dt. So, here this dx will be f dash t dt, right. Now, we can change this t to x as we discussed in the previous question, and also we can interchange the limits by changing the sign. So, it becomes minus integral 0 to 1 minus integral 0 to 1 f of x minus x whole power 2016. We can also write it as x minus f of x whole power 2016 into f dash x dx. We can change the variable t to x without changing the limits and the function. Now, adding this and this, 2i is equal to 2i is equal to, what happens? This will be common, limits integral is common, limits are same. So, integral 0 to 1, what will get? X minus f of x whole power 2016 into 1 minus f dash x. Dx. Now, very simple, derivative of x minus f of x is 1 minus f dash x, is it not? So, if you put this as t, this will be dt. Okay? So, what will be the integral of this? It becomes integral t power 2016 dt. What is the integral of t power 2016? If you put x minus f of x is equal to t, then 1 minus f dash x dx is equal to dt. So, I will write here 2i is equal to integral t power 2016 dt, and what will be the limits? If x is 0, 0 minus f of 0, 0 minus f of 0, f of 0 is 1, so it will be minus 1. If you substitute x is equal to 1, 1 minus f of 1, f of 1 is 0, so upper limit is 1. Okay. Now, we can write it as 2 integral 0 to 1 t power 2016, 2i is equal to. So, you can cancel 2, and what is the value of integral 2 power t power 2016? 2 t power 2017 by 2017, and if you substitute 1, you will get I is equal to 1 by 2017. Okay, nice question, and this kind of ideas are very difficult, only you can get it by practice. Okay. Next question. If f of 0 is equal to 0, f of 1 is equal to 1, find the minimum value of integral 0 to 1 f dash x whole square dx. This is based on Cauchy's inequality. In real numbers, Cauchy's inequality is sigma ai bi I varies from 1 to n whole square is always less than or equal to sigma ai square I varies from 1 to n into sigma bi square. I varies from 1 to n. This is called Cauchy's inequality in real numbers. Here ai and bi are any real numbers. Okay. That means left hand side is a1 a2 a1 b1 plus a2 b2 plus a3 b3 and so on, a n bn whole square is less than or equal to a1 square plus a2 square plus a3 square and so on, an square into b1 square plus b2 square plus b3 square and so on, bn square. Now, the meaning of the sigma is summation, and meaning of integral is also summation. But what is the difference in these two summations? Sigma is used for discrete summation. Here the variable I is taking only integral values 1, 2, 3 and so on till n. But here in integration it is a continuous variable. The variable continuously varies from 0 to 1. So, the same inequality can be written in definite integration as integral a to b. In places of ai and bi, I will take two functions f of x and g of x. F of x into g of x dx whole square is less than or equal to integral a to b. Instead of sigma we are getting integral with limits, and here what is I here? F of x. So, f of x whole square dx into integral a to b g of x whole square, right. This is called Cauchy's inequality in definite integration. Now, this is f dash x whole square. So, I will take f dash x and 1 as two functions, f dash x and 1. This is f dash x, g of x is 1. So, integral 0 to 1 f dash x into 1 dx is less than or equal to integral 0 to 1 f dash x whole square into integral 0 to 1 square. 1 square is 1. Now, what is the value of this integral? It is f of x between limits 0 and 1 is less than or equal to, this integral is 1, integral 0 to 1 dx is 1. So, it will be integral 0 to 1 f dash x whole square. Now, what is the value of this left hand side? F of 1 minus f of 0. F of 1 minus f of 0 is 1. Okay. So, finally, you will get integral 0 to 1 f dash x whole square dx is greater than or equal to 1. So, its minimum value is 1. Okay. Next question, if I1 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 cos 2 pi by 3 into sin square x, I2 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 cos of pi by 3 into sin x, then find I2 by I1. Let us take I1. I1 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 cos of 2 pi by 3 sin square x dx. Usually when the limits are 0 to a, you will use the property of definite integration. What is the property? Integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. That means you can replace x by pi by 2 minus x, the integral remains same. Okay. So, immediately you should try that property. What happens? Integral 0 to pi by 2 cos of 2 pi by 3 into sin square pi by 2 minus x becomes cos square x. Okay. Whenever you use that property, usually we add the two steps. So, adding this integral and this integral, you will get 2I1 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2. What is cos C minus cos D? 2 cos C plus D by 2 cos C minus D by 2, right. So, cos C plus cos D is 2 cos C plus D by 2. What is C plus D? 2 pi by 3 into sin square x plus cos square x, 1. So, 2 pi by 3 into 1, 2 pi by 3 by 2 will be pi by 3. Is it not? Into cos C minus D by 2. What will get? This minus this by 2. 2 pi by 3 is common. Sin square x minus cos square x. Sin square x minus cos square x minus sin square x is cos 2x. So, sin square x minus cos square x is minus cos 2x, but cos of minus theta is cos theta. So, we can write cos 2x dx. You can cancel 2. Okay. Now, what is the value of cos pi by 3? 1 by 2. So, it is 1 by 2 into integral 0 to pi by 2. Now, you can put 2x is equal to t because you want finally, substituting pi by 2 minus x, what happens? It becomes pi minus, no use. So, let us put 2x is equal to t. Putting 2x is equal to t, what happens to the limits? Limits will become 0 to pi, half into integral 0 to pi cos of two pi by 3 into cos t into, if you differentiate 2 dx is equal to dt. So, dx is dt by 2, dt by 2. Now, substituting pi minus t, the function remains same. When the function remains same, you can multiply by 2 and divide the upper limit by 2. So, what happens? It will be equal to 2 into 1 by 2 into integral 0 to pi by 2 cos of 2 pi by 3 into cos t dt by 2, another 2 is there, this 2 cancels. Now, you can use the property which we have used here. Replace t by pi by 2 minus t. What will you get? So, cos pi by 2 minus t becomes sin t. So, it becomes I1 is equal to half into integral 0 to pi by 2 cos of 2 pi by 3 into sin t. So, what is this? This is I2. This is I2. So, it is equal to half into I2. So, what is the value of I2 by I1? It is 2. Okay. Next question. Yeah, very good question. Integral 0 to 1 minus x power n whole power 1 by n minus 1 minus 1 minus x power n minus 1 whole power 1 by n dx. how to find this. The function looks like very complicated. So, we have to solve it by using one property or one formula. You remember the formula that integral a to b f of x dx plus integral f of a to f of b f inverse x dx is equal to b f of b minus a f of a. It is very important and useful formula. Okay. Actually, I am not going to explain how we get the formula and all. Simply you can put f inverse x is equal to t. You will get x is equal to f of t. Then combining these two, you will get this answer. Okay. So, remember this as a formula. If you take this function as f of x, if f of x is equal to 1 minus x power n whole power 1 by n minus 1, then let us find the inverse. How to find the inverse? And the inverse is going to be the other function. If you want, let f inverse x be equal to t. Okay. Then we get x is equal to f of t. What is f of t? F of t is 1 minus t power n whole power 1 by n minus 1. From this you calculate t, you are going to get this. Okay. Now, f inverse x is 1 minus x power n minus 1 power 1 by n. Okay. Now, integral 0 to 1 f of x dx, here minus is there, in the formula I gave plus. So, let us see, minus integral 0 to 1 f inverse x dx. Since we have plus sign in our formula, let us interchange the limits and change the sign. Then you will get integral 0 to 1 f of x dx plus integral 1 to 0 f inverse x dx. Okay. Now, if x is equal to 0, what is f of 0? What is f of 0? It is 1. Okay. So, we can write this 1 as f of 0, and if x is equal to 1, f of 1 will be 0. So, I can write 0 as f of 1. So, it is exactly the formula. So, what will be the answer? B f of b means 1 into f of 1 minus a f of a is 0 into f of 0. What is the value of f of 1? 0. Minus this is also 0. So, answer is 0. Okay. Next question. If integral 0 to pi by 2 sin 2x f of sin 2x into sin x dx is equal to k into integral 0 to pi by 4 f of cos 2x into cos x dx, find k. Let us take the left hand side integral, integral 0 to pi by 2 f of sin 2x into sin x dx. Let us denote it by I. Whenever limits are 0 to a, we have to apply that property. You can replace x by pi by 2 minus x. Immediately you should try. Integral 0 to pi by 2 replacing x by pi by 2 minus x, you will get sine of what? 2 into pi by 2 minus x. What will get? Same, it remains same. Sine pi minus 2x is sine 2x. So, it will be f of sine 2x. Here sine x becomes cos x, sine pi by 2 minus x is cos x. What is the next step? We should add the two integrals. Adding the two integrals, you will get 2i is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 f of sine 2x into, it is common, sin x plus cos x. Sin x plus cos x. Now, we have to simplify it to this form. We can write sin x plus cos x as root 2 into sin of x plus pi by 4, or we can write it as root 2 into cos of, if you multiply and divide by root 2, what happens? Root 2 into 1 by root 2 sin x plus 1 by root 2 cos x. If you take this as cos pi by 4, 1 by root 2 as cos pi by 4, this 1 by root 2 as sin pi by 4, it becomes sin pi by 4 plus x. Or if you take this 1 by root 2 as cos pi by 4, this 1 by root 2 as sin pi by 4, cos a cos b plus sin a sin b, cos of a plus b, then you will get cos of pi by 4 plus x. Okay. Let us try the first one, sin pi by 4 plus x. So, I am writing it, multiplying and dividing by root 2. You will get root 2 integral 0 to pi by 2 f of sin 2x into sin of pi by 4 plus x. Now, in the previous step, if you replace x by pi by 2 minus x again using the first property, replacing x by pi by 2 minus x, this whole function remains same. F of sin 2 into pi by 2 minus x is same. This becomes cos x plus sin x, sin pi by 2 minus x is cos x, cos pi by 2 minus x is sin x. So, the whole function remains same. So, applying the property, you can multiply the integral by 2 and divide the upper limit by 2. So, this pi by 2 becomes pi by 4. Okay. This is 2i. So, cancel 2. Now, again use the property, replace x by pi by 4 minus x. Then what will get? Root 2 into integral 0 to pi by 4, replacing x by pi by 4 minus x, this becomes cos 2x. F of cos 2x into, this becomes sin of pi by 4 plus pi by 4 minus x, that means sin pi by 2 minus x, it is cos x, which is the RHS. So, what is the value of k? It is root 2. Okay. Next question. Actually, this is based on the property we discussed, the formula we discussed just now. Integral a to b f of x dx plus integral a to b f inverse x dx is equal to b f of b minus a f of a. So, take f of x like this integral and sorry, this is f of a to f of b. So, if you take f of a as pi, if you take f of a as pi, f of a is a plus sin a is equal to pi. Then what is the value of a? Easily you can tell that a is pi. Okay, a is equal to pi. And if you take this upper limit 2 pi as f of b, f of b is b plus sin b is equal to 2 pi, then what is the value of b? B will be 2 pi. So, we can use that formula integral, what are a and b? Pi and 2 pi, integral pi to 2 pi x plus sin x plus integral f of pi to f of 2 pi f inverse x, we do not know, we cannot calculate. So, f inverse x dx is equal to b f of b means 2 pi into f of 2 pi, f of 2 pi is 2 pi. So, 2 pi into 2 pi 4 pi square minus pi into pi, pi square. So, rest of the calculation you can finish and check. Okay. So, I am moving to the next question. Integral 0 to pi sin of n plus half into x upon sin x by 2. To calculate this, where n is a positive integer, n is a non-negative integer, okay, n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now, let us denote it by in. Let in be equal to integral 0 to pi by 2, 0 to pi sin of n plus 1 by 2 into x upon sin x by 2. Okay. In this kind of questions, the general method is you should write in minus 1 or sometimes in minus 2 and subtract and see. If you write in minus 1, integral 0 to pi, in minus 1 will be sin of n minus 1 plus half, it will be n minus 1 by 2, sin of n minus 1 by 2 into x upon sin x by 2 dx. What will you do? Subtract. This is the general method for this kind of questions. In minus 1 is equal to, denominator is same, integral is same. So, integral 0 to pi sin x by 2 is LCM. What is this? Sin a plus b minus sin a minus b. Sin a plus b minus sin a minus b is 2 cos a sin b. 2 cos a means nx. 2 cos a sin b. Sin b means sin of x by 2. What happens? Sin x by 2 cancels. What is the integral of 2 cos nx? It is 2 sin nx by n. Substitute the limits. Substituting pi, sin of n pi is 0. Substituting 0 also, it is 0. So, this is 0. In minus 1 is 0 means in is equal to in minus 1. That means I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3 is equal and so on. All i's are same. So, if you want in, you can take any value. I said non-negative integers, no? So, in can be equal to I naught. Okay? So, what is I naught? Putting n is equal to 0, it will be sin x by 2 by sin x by 2 1. So, integral 0 to pi 1 dx, 0 to pi. What is the answer? Pi. Okay? Now, the next question, limit as n tends to infinity, sigma k varies from 0 to n, nck by n power k into k plus 3. This is the question asked by many students number of times. We have to find this limit by using definite integral. Limit n tends to infinity, sigma k varies from 0 to n, nck by n power k into k plus 3. We can write this 1 by k plus 3, 1 by k plus 3 can be written as integral 0 to 1 x power k plus 2. Is it not? Then we can write it as limit as n tends to infinity, sigma, I can write this whole integral 0 to 1 nck by n power k into x power k plus 2. dx. I wrote this integral outside nck because integral is with respect to x. These two are independent of x. So, I can write these two nck and n power k inside the integration. Okay. And also I can write the integral outside completely because this is with n tends to infinity, it is independent of x and k varies from 0 to n. Now, let us take the sigma integration outside completely. Integral 0 to 1, limit n tends to infinity, sigma k varies from 0 to n. If you separate x square, it becomes nck into x power k by n power k is x by n whole power k. What is sigma NCR into x power r? Sigma NCR into x power r varies from 0 to n is 1 plus x whole power n. All of you know this by binomial theorem. So, this summation will be 1 plus x by n whole power n. So, next step will be integral 0 to 1 limit as n tends to infinity x square into 1 plus x by n whole power n. Now, when integral is there, we have to write dx also. Now, if n tends to infinity, 1 plus x by n whole power n tends to what? It is a standard limit. Limit as x tends to infinity, 1 plus a by x whole power x is e power a. It is a formula, standard limit. So, this limit is limit n tends to infinity of 1 plus x by n whole power n is e power x. So, we get integral 0 to 1 x square into e power x. Now, how to calculate? If you integrate this by parts, you will get e power x into x square minus 2x plus 2. Now, substitute limits 0 to 1. Substituting 1, you will get e. Substituting 0, you will get 2. So, answer is e minus 2. Okay. Now, I am going to take up the doubts. Let us see the question. First question asked by Mr. Harish. Integral minus 1 to 1 integral minus 1 to 1 dx upon x square plus x plus 1 plus root over x power 4 plus 3x square plus 1. Usually, two things. While solving any question, getting idea is very important. Okay. You remember 2 points regarding this question. One point is, whenever the limits of a definite integral are in the form of minus a and plus a, immediately you will try that even odd function property. You will check whether the function is even or odd. If the limits are minus a and plus a, function is even. If the function is even, you can write as 2 integral 0 to a f of x dx. If the function is odd, it is 0. Okay. But important point is, when the limits are minus a and plus a and the function is neither even nor odd, then you need to use another property of definite integral. What is that property? Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. All of you are aware of this property. So, whenever the limits are minus a and plus a and function is neither even nor odd, you should use that property. Okay. Another thing is, when such irrational terms are there, usually when the irrational terms are there in the denominator, usually we rationalize. So, two things, rationalization and is application of this formula. Let us see we get it or not. Integral minus 1 to 1 dx by x square plus x plus 1 plus root over x power 4 plus 3x square plus 1. Two things I explained. This one, what is this one? A plus b minus x means minus 1 plus 1 minus x means minus x. A plus b minus x is minus x. you can replace x by minus x, function remains same. Okay? But replacing x by minus x, we are getting the similar function, only this x changes to minus x. There is no use. So, let us first try rationalization method. Rationalizing this, you will get minus 1 to 1 x square plus x plus 1 minus of root x power 4 plus 3x square plus 1 by what will get in the denominator, x square plus x plus 1 whole square minus of x power 4 plus 3x square plus 1. Okay? Now, let us expand this square and see. Integral minus 1 to 1, write numerator as it is, x square plus x plus 1 minus of root over x power 4 plus 3x square plus 1 upon, I will expand here and see, x power 4 plus x square plus 1 plus 2x cube, next plus 2x square plus 2x minus of this, what is this, minus x power 4 minus 3x square minus 1. Now, x power 4 cancels, 3x square also cancels, 1 also cancels. So, only 2 terms are remaining, 2x cube plus 2x. You can take 2x common, you will get 2x into x square plus 1, okay, dx. Now also it is complicated, integration of this by this is very tough. So, now let us try that property. If you replace x by minus x, because a plus b minus x means minus 1 plus 1 minus x is a plus b minus x is minus x. So, replacing x by minus x, it should remain same, integral minus 1 to 1 x square minus x plus 1 minus, this remains as it is, square root of x power 4 plus 3x square plus 1 by, here x square plus 1 remains as it is, this x will get minus sign, minus 2x into x square plus 1. Okay? Now, what can you do? Let us denote this by I, then this is also I, no? If you add these two, that square root will go. Observe, 2i is equal to 2i denominator is integral minus 1 to 1, write 2x into x square plus 1, and you take this minus sign in numerator. If this minus sign is taken to numerator, this will be minus plus minus plus. So, by adding these two, denominator is same, x square cancels, 1 cancels and square root cancels. So, what is remaining? X plus x, 2x. Okay. Now 2x also cancels. Now you can finish. What is the integral of 1 by x square plus 1? Tan inverse x. Between limits minus 1 and 1. Substituting 1 and minus 1, you will get pi by 4 minus of minus pi by 4, total pi by 2. So finally, I will be equal to pi by 4. Okay. Now let us take up the next question. Yeah, some Gangadhar. Integral 0 to pi by 2 dx upon a square sin square x plus b square cos square x whole square. If whole square is not there, it is a very simple question, is it not? What is that? If square is not there, integral 0 to pi by 2 dx by a square sin square x plus b square cos square x. If without square root, it is a very simple question. How to solve? If you divide numerator and denominator by cos square x, you will get integral 0 to pi by 2 secant square x by dividing by cos square x, 1 by cos square x is secant square x by a square tan square x plus b square. Now derivative of tan x is secant square x. So putting tan x is equal to t. You will get secant square x dx is equal to dt. Okay. Then what will be the new limits? If x tends to 0, t tends to 0. If x tends to pi by 2, t tends to infinity. So you will get integral 0 to infinity dt upon a square t square plus b square. Now what is its integral? Integral of 1 by x square plus a square is 1 by a tan inverse x by a. So it is 1 by b tan inverse a t by b, and we have to divide by a. Now substituting the limits, tan inverse infinity is pi by 2, tan inverse 0 is 0. So this is pi by 2. Pi by 2 by ab is pi by 2 ab. Pi by 2 ab. You must be wondering why sir is solving this. The question is actually with whole square. Now see the magic. What we have proved is this integral is pi by 2 ab. Okay. So let us write this is equal to pi by 2ab. Now I will differentiate on both sides with respect to a. With respect to a, what we will get? Integral remains same because integral is with respect to x now. So we have to differentiate this function with respect to a. integral 0 to pi by 2. What is the derivative of 1 by t? Minus 1 by t square. So, we will get minus 1 by a square sin square x plus b square cos square x whole square into derivative of this a square sin square x plus b square cos square x is 2a sin square x. So, into when you are differentiating with respect to a, treat all remaining all are constants. So, derivative of b square cos square x is 0. Okay. Dx is equal to, what is the derivative of RHS with respect to a? It is minus pi by 2a square b. Okay. Now, taking this 2a to right hand side and cancelling minus sign, you will get integral 0 to pi by 2 sin square x by a square sin square x plus b square cos square x whole square is equal to pi by 4 a cube b. Okay. Now, I will again differentiate this with respect to b, and proceed like this. Then I will get integral 0 to pi by 2, you will get cos square x here, cos square x by a square sin square x plus b square cos square x whole square dx. What will you get in the RHS? You will get pi by 4 ab cube. No, 1 minute. Okay. You will get pi by ab cube, pi by 4 ab cube. Now, we get the asked integral by just adding these two. If you add these two, denominator is same, numerators are sin square x and cos square x. Sin square x plus cos square x is 1. So, by adding these two, this integral is equal to this plus this. So, take pi by 4 common into 1 by a cube b, 1 by a cube b plus 1 by ab cube. Taking a cube b cube LCM, numerator will be a square plus b square. So, answer is this. Okay, now time is up. So, we are going to close the session for today.